makes it a little bit better knowing that she's remembered, that she was loved, and that people want to help because of who she was. We met at an OU Torah retreat, and we happened to be sitting together at Sudah Shlishit, and we're talking a little bit, but it was at that point I realized this was somebody special with good values, and that's something that never changed about her. I guess when we first got engaged, I got the usual questions, was it love at first sight? And my response was always no, it was love at first conversation.
There had been an ongoing women's Parsha Shir, and Rabbi Teitz had been facilitating that, but then when he no longer could do it, Ruthie stepped up and said that she would be willing to be the facilitator, to take the responsibility to teach the class.
And when she was leading this year, the aspects that I liked about Ruthie's teaching was she was able to describe everything so clearly.
I was feeling very comfortable in this class. I didn't have a yeshiva background. So she was very interesting, very simple, no pretense. She would come and she would do research on any topic. Any question I would ask, she would do the research.
She made it interesting and easy for me to understand. I really enjoyed it, and it was such a positive aspect, to my Shabbos afternoons, is to be able to learn from Ruthie, and I appreciated all the effort that she put into it.
And she would mark with colored Post-its the places that she wanted to focus with us. So she would come to class with a huge pile of stuff that would, of course, take about 5 hours to get through. And she realized that.
Her little sticky notes that she stuck on every little thing, and she had all of her notes coordinated, and she really spent a lot of time. And to be able to go to such a sophisticated and interesting shir, and to be with a group of people who were also interested, it was all because Ruthie made it possible, and that was really, and remains really special to me.
After going once or twice, I was kind of hooked, and I also looked at Ruthie and I said, I've got young kids, but she's got young kids. I have a job, I work during the day, and I'm tired on Shabbat. But you know what? She's in the same boat as me. And she was really a personal inspiration to me to just say, there's just she had such a strong desire for that continuous learning to keep up for herself.
And she would think of questions that she had from reading the Parsha for the week. And she would put that on the table with her sources, books and little Post-its, and it was just awesome how much effort she put into it on a weekly basis.
To work at home, to handle everything that she had to do with her family, and in between all of this is to deal with her own illness, but she was always extremely optimistic about her prognosis, and never really seemed to let her symptoms or her pain get her down.
I was always very impressed how caring she was with the children.
We raised 4 kids, and one of whom was a special needs child. She took up an enormous amount of Ruthie's time over and above just everything else she did with the women's class, with working, with having a household. Ruthie drove a Tara every day to Teaneck. It was just an example of what kind of person Ruthie was. Just such a wonderful person with just such a great heart.
She was also very protective of us when there were times about should this class be co-ed, and have men and women. She said, no, these are my women. This is a place for women.
It pained her so much. The thought of not having the shir continue was just something that she was just beside herself. She kept talking about my women, we need to keep the shir going. And so a few of us got together and started rotating and giving the shir in her place.
You know, later when she was ill and couldn't do it anymore, she had friends who took over, and they've continued it, and it's a vibrant women's shir now. We've got some wonderful women's learning, and Ruthie really is, everybody's acknowledged, Ruthie deserves the credit for getting it going and setting the pace for it.
We wanted to continue after she was no longer with us, and it's now taken 3 women to do what she herself would do by herself. We miss her, and as a personal friend, I miss her. And it is a loss to the community and to our shir. But she's always in our minds, and every time we go to the Shabbos Women's Parsha shir, it was just, with her in mind.
In a few weeks will be Ruthie's 2nd yard site. In some ways, it seems like it was just very recent that we lost her. In some ways, it's been a long time. I think maybe one of the most telling things about her is the friendships that she had, that we have, how great the community has been to us. And I can never say enough. I know she's up there looking at this and knowing what a tremendous community this has been, and that the inspiration that she was has inspired other people to do so many good things.
Shine.